for whatever half-baked argument you managed to cobble together. That imbecile. And Svoboda. I thought her more capable. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. You took so long, I was beginning to think my little puzzle actually stumped you. You seem confused. Allow me to delineate on the totality of your failure. Saving the hostages delayed you just long enough for me to complete my work. I was able to transmit not only the coordinates for the peace talks, but also the station's security protocols, giving Augustine control over its automechanicals. She has everything. That's preposterous. In a transparent attempt at sowing discord between us, I haven't the time nor desire to enumerate failings in your logic. Suffice to say, you misunderstand the basic fundamentals of my objectives. The Order has been dislocated from its ideals, becoming the opposite of all they espouse. De Vries and I are merely providing a necessary realignment. As if you could even understand my methodology. I wager you're no more conversant in probabilistic analysis than a saprophyte. No. The nuance would only be lost on you. Expressed simply, the Order is ossified, outdated. They have lost sight of what matters. For Arcadia's sake, it is up to us to clear the field of play and begin anew. This violence. It is a means to an end, a prerequisite for peace. Heroes are often called upon to make the difficult choices others cannot, and so we have, because we must.
I think harm's done by folks in a white hat as often as black. Blood just hides the color.
Fortunately for me, I don't concern myself with the opinions of neophytes. What in the Architect's computational summary are you on about? That hopeless, ineffectual, over-reliant waste of workspace? He wouldn't dare. But I am beyond reproach. My talent without peer. What has Joseph ever done for the Order except occupy my valuable time with useless queries? No, this is some kind of deception. It has to be. I could not have missed such obvious machinations. Math is correct. My math is always correct. How could I have failed to recognize such gaps in my predictions? I checked and triple-checked. What more could I have done? Where did I err? Enough! Please. Your point has been sufficiently made, and I truly lack the capacity to debate you further. I've already sent Augustine everything she needs. But all our communications are on this terminal. It is yours to peruse. Though I cannot say whether the information will be useful. Obviously, my analytical acumen is not what I'd assumed. All I know is that I was never meant to stop you. Now I must send word to my allies here at the monastery to stand down and notify them of my resignation from the Order. Effective immediately. Fool I was to believe I mattered in a plan's grand scheme. Leave me be. I have no more predictions to offer, now or ever.
I have grown worried. I have not received word from Archivist Clemens in some time, and I imagine you would have relayed any pertinent information by now. I fear this bodes ill. Without him, our only option is a direct assault. A risky proposition, to be sure. The last thing any of us want is for our plan to spiral out of control. And so it falls on you to seize back that control. Use the methods we discussed to take command of the monastery. When it is done, I will send further instruction. You have my trust. See that it is not misplaced. I'm much obliged for your tireless work. With this knowledge of Greater Tranquility Substation and its security codes, our plans for the peace talks can finally be spurred into motion. However, without Archivist Clemens and his explosives at our disposal, we've no choice but to proceed with our contingency plan. A direct assault. Though the codes will allow me control of the automechs on the station, we'd best accept now that more lives may be lost than previously assumed. Yet we must act unflinchingly. To fail now would mean the end of everything.
Best get a move on to the peace talks. DeVries won't hesitate, and neither should we.
Leave me be. I have no more predictions to offer. Now, wherever.
Agent, over here. I assume you had a chance to speak with Landon, that is, Seer Wiley. I'm greatly relieved to hear it. Did he mention me at all? I'd rather hope that would not come to light. I gather he did not receive the revelation well. I'm sure you also think me to blame for all of this. But you have to understand my position. How ill-equipped all in the Order are for this new world. With the schism and now the war, the Order stands alone for the first time in its storied history. We have no experience with governance. Well, myself especially. Education takes time, and that is the one thing the Order does not seem to have in abundance these days. Still, I take your meaning. We must do better. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your assistance in reclaiming the monastery, regrettable as the business was. I had intended to offer you access to one of our experimental weapons, but it seems you already helped yourself to it. You always do seem a step ahead of me. May all your future endeavors proceed in accordance to the plan.
I don't know what you're complaining of. We emerged totally unscathed.
I'd estimate I'm 43.11% scathed.
Then increment your bravery index. My goodness, you novices and your theatrics.
Have you acquired the scholarship you asked for? Of course you do. Have you acquired the scholarship we asked for? Wonderful. Please deposit the titles in that drawer there, and we will review it forthwith. Excellent timing. We're nearly finished reviewing the materials you brought us. Oh, well now, this is unexpected. The arguments in this text seem to have highlighted a teleological flaw I fear my own argument shares. You too, huh? Under certain conditions, de-escalation becomes impossible, leading to negative outcomes, including outright annihilation. An annihilated entity cannot advance the plan.
But maybe annihilation itself serves a purpose we're simply unaware of. You were right before. Participating in a war only produces an entropic feedback loop.
I see someone has been reading On the Origin of Brats. It has that effect on people.
Mental carceration and the potential unreality of conscious experience adds an interesting dimension to the argument. It's certainly worth exploring.
Perhaps later. For now, I feel we should reward our guest with their choice of reward, given the idiosyncratic nature of his conclusion. Armor or weapon? Very well. You can retrieve it from the same drawer where you deposited our research materials. We appreciate your time. If you have a spare 4 hours, feel free to stay and observe our period of silent, sustained reading. Otherwise, until we next confer.
would appreciate that, I think. Can any of this really be in service to the universal equation, like the Sears claim?
Ruth Bassan is the first among equals of the Laureate Council. She will raise humanity to perfection.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to happiness?
Hey, Commander, I think Val wants us to discuss strategy. Or I could just be misunderstanding the noises emanating from her.
The information collected on the peace talks has been verified, Commander. As time is a factor, this unit suggests heading to Greater Tranquility Station as soon as you are able.
We can't let DeVries catch us on the back foot again. We need a plan.
DeVries aims to stop the peace talks using lethal force. But she's an amateur. Let's show her how professionals cause pain.
Hope you ain't suggesting they can handle it themselves. They're hardly equipped for a well-timed sneak attack.
Records indicate Greater Tranquility is a derelict station. Consequently, the ideal route to reach the main chamber for the peace talks will be through its underbelly. Be advised. In the absence of Victor and his explosives, Agent DeVries and her team will be committed to a frontal assault. Due to delays incurred while saving the Order hostages, DeVries also has the codes to control the station's security automechanicals, and will assuredly deploy them against you, Commander. Additionally, per the Earth Directorate Manual, when lacking equivalent combat forces, determination and vast amounts of ammunition may make up the difference.
You know where I stand. This war's taken too many good folk from us. I'll be damned if I let DeVries add to that number.
I'm coming with you. Who better to make DeVries pay for Horizon Point than a pair of our own Phantoms? Good. Would have been a shame if DeVries was the reason for us falling out, too.
Confirming coordinates for Greater Tranquility Station. Confirmed. Use the astrogator when you are ready to navigate to the station, Commander.
That damn Wiley put us in an impossible situation. I'm glad those hostages can go back to their families, but I fear we played right into DeVries' hands. With that data, she could wreak more havoc than we anticipated. Look, I know the choice is yours on how you want to approach this, but it's my folk in the crosshairs. If something happens to our delegate, I don't know how I'd live with myself. If there's space by your side, I hope you'll call on me. Sure, but don't get me wrong. I ain't asking this of you for my own benefit. We got a duty to protect everyone at the peace talks. You as an Earth Directorate agent, me as a soldier. It's what we do. If we fail to stop DeVries, this will have dire consequence for the war and everything else. So let's not fail, huh?
Marisol had a lot to offer this crew, Commander. Shame you couldn't see that. Careful now. Oh, you sure everyone's going to get down this minute?
Marisol Delgado has been released from service. Updating Team Index. How may this unit assist you, Commander? Readying database.
What are we standing around jawing for? There's mayhem and murdering to be done.
No time to goggle the rift, Commander. We've got to get to DeVries.